Most traders spend years and years chasing indicators, MACD, RSI, Fibonacci levels, volume profiles. There's literally an endless list of things you can add to a chart. And after spending enough time with all of them, I've arrived at a very simple conclusion, at least for myself. If I could only keep one indicator for the rest of my wheel strategy trading life, it would be the Bollinger Bands. Not because it's the most sophisticated, but because it answers the exact two questions the wheel strategy needs answered every single time. Is this stock stretched up to the upside or has it pulled back to the downside? Sell covered calls when it's stretched, sell puts when it's pulled back. That's literally the entire system. You can click off this video. But let me explain what Bollinger Bands actually are before getting into how to use them, because a lot of people have seen them on charts without fully understanding what they actually measure. A Bollinger Band consists of three lines. The middle line is a simple moving average, typically 20-30 day average of the closing price. The upper band is drawn 2 standard deviations above the middle line. The lower band is drawn 2 standard deviations below that. Standard deviation is literally just a measure of how much the price has been moving around, okay? When a stock has been calm and steady, the bands you're gonna see them as narrow. The price hasn't been swinging much. When a stock has been really volatile, the bands widen. The price has been making bigger moves, right? What this gives you is a live self-adjusting picture of what's normal for a stock's price behavior. The upper band isn't a fixed number, okay? It moves with the stock. It expands when the stock gets volatile and contracts when it calms down. It always is reflecting the stock's own recent history. When the price touches or pushes above the upper band, it tells you that the stock has moved further and faster than usual to the upside. When the price touches or dips below the lower band, it's telling you the stock has moved further and faster than usual to the downside. And that's really it. That's the entire tool. And here's why this maps so cleanly to the wheel strategy. The wheel has 2 active decisions, right? When to sell a put and when to sell a covered call. Most people make both of these decisions completely based on what premium is available or what their gut tells them about a stock's direction. Neither of those is really reliable in my opinion. But Bollinger Bands remove the guesswork by giving you a very, very specific chart-based answer to the timing question. Selling a covered call at the upper band means you're selling when the stock has already made its move upward. You're not trying to predict whether it's going to keep going, right? You're looking at the objective fact that the stock has been stretched beyond its normal range to the upside. And historically, stocks that reach the upper band tend to pull back towards the middle. Selling the covered call here means a natural pullback in the stock is what makes your call expire worthless. The probability is on your side because the stock has already been extended. Selling a put at the lower band means you're selling when the stock has already pulled back meaningfully. You're not catching a falling knife. You're essentially buying into a situation where the stock has moved to the low end of its own range and has historically tended to recover towards the middle. The put expires worthless when the stock does what it usually has done after touching the lower band, which is stabilize or recover. One indicator, 2 decisions completely mapped out. And this is partly the reason I developed ArkPicks.com, because it literally tracks all of this stuff across all of my watch lists for me. I literally just open up my dashboard and I can see all of my different stocks, which setups are trending towards the upper bands or the lower bands. Go check out ArkPicks.com. If you love running the wheel strategy and you hate staring at charts all day like me, you're gonna absolutely love this tool. It simplifies the entire wheel strategy setup process. And make sure to use coupon code 25OFF for 25% off the lifetime of your subscription. Head over to ArkPicks.com after today's video. Let's talk about the upper band covered call in actual practice here. And here's what this actually looks like when you're watching a stock on a chart. A quality stock, let's say you already own, say you were assigned at 32 bucks and the stock has since recovered and is now running. After a few weeks of steady upward movement, it pushes into the upper Bollinger Band territory. Maybe it touches the upper band, let's just say around 38 bucks. That's your signal to look at the covered call chain. Not before, not when the stock is sitting in the middle of its range and the call premium seems attractive, at the upper band, when the stock has already stretched. Why does this really matter for the covered call specifically though? Because a covered call at the upper band puts your obligation to sell at that price that the stock has already been extended if it gets reached. If it pulls back, which is statistically more common than continuing to run straight through the upper band, the call expires worthless, or you can close it out early and you keep your shares and the premium. If it keeps climbing past the upper band, right, which can happen, you get called away at a profit. But both outcomes should be acceptable to you. Selling a covered call when the stock is in the middle of its range or near the lower band, in my opinion, is the mistake. You're capping your potential upside at a price that the stock hasn't really stretched to yet, which means you're selling the cap too cheap relative to where you're actually sitting on the chart. Let's talk about the lower band put in practice, okay? The mirror image applies to cash secured puts. When a quality stock you want to own drops to the lower Bollinger Band, that's the entry signal. The stock has pulled back below its normal range. At that level, two things are usually true. The premium on the put is elevated because volatility just picked up, and the probability of further decline in the near term is lower than when the stock was running upwards. You check the options chain after the lower band touch, not in the middle of the range where the premium is thin and you're just literally hoping nothing goes wrong for you. At the lower band, the premium reflects the recent volatility, and the stock is in a position where recovery towards the middle is statistically more likely than continuing to decline. The put expires worthless when the stock does what stocks in quality companies typically do after reaching the lower band: stabilize and recover. But of course, that is not guaranteed. But let's talk about the middle band and when to really be doing nothing. And here's really the part that nobody really likes to talk about. Most of the time, a stock is in the middle of its Bollinger Bands, right? Not stretched in either direction. And most of the time, the right answer is to do nothing, right? If you own shares and the stock is in the middle of the range, selling a covered call here is really capping your upside before the stock is giving you a natural high point to sell against. If you're looking for a new put entry and the stock is in the middle of its range, the premium is lower and the timing advantage really doesn't exist, in my opinion. The Bollinger Band system is patient by design. It doesn't give you a signal, right? That's a feature, not a bug. The trades you skip in the middle of the range are often the ones that would have worked against you. The wheel strategy has two moves. We know that. Bollinger Bands tell you when to make each one of them. At least they do for me. Upper band, the stock has stretched to the upside, sell the covered call, right? The probability of a pullback is higher than a continued run, which means the call is more likely to expire worthless for us. If the stock keeps going, you exit at a profit. Lower band, the stock has pulled back meaningfully, sell the cash secured put. The premium is elevated from obviously that volatility, and the probability of recovery towards the middle is higher than further decline on a good quality dividend stock. If assigned, you own something that you wanted at a price that you can actually defend. Everything else though, RSI, moving averages, volume, I use as a secondary confirmation. But if I could only have one tool, Bollinger Bands give me pretty much everything I need to time the two most important decisions in the wheel strategy with a very clear, objective, chart-based signal. Got some questions for you guys, as always, in the comments sections. Number one, are you currently using any indicator to time your covered calls and your puts entries, or are you selling based completely on premium availability or a gut feeling? And number two, have you tried the upper lower band approach and found it worked for you, or struggled to be patient enough to really wait for the signal before entering? Let me know down below in the comments, and make sure you go check out arkpicks.com. If you're somebody that loves running the wheel strategy like me, but you got a busy life filled with other things you'd rather be doing than staring at charts all day, you're absolutely going to love it. You can see it here on my screen right here. It shows me my top setups off my watch list. We have a bunch of pre-built watch lists in there as well, with some good, great quality companies. And make sure to use coupon code 25OFF for 25% off the lifetime of your membership. Head over to arkpicks.com. As always, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.